Welcome to AWS Tips and Tricks again. I'm Ben, and I'm just going to give an overview of EC2 Instance Types today. Today we're going to talk about EC2 Instance Types, making sure that you select the correct instance type for your particular need. So a number of characteristics to take into consideration when choosing EC2 Instance Types. Pricing, performance, instance type families such as R3, M4, and how choosing the particular instance type families affects EBS performance. What I also recommend is watching my Ebs Volumes video at the end of this video so you can put the two together. Also today I'm going to cover some other information. This is the first video where I've talked about the AWS pricing calculator, which will become quite handy for you. I'm going to talk about EC2 product pages. So these are basically just the pages that describe the EC2 product and the pricing. Also, I'm going to demonstrate a third-party tool that you can use to help you right-size your EC2 instances. Let's take a look at the Amazon Web Services Simple Monthly Calculator. So what this calculator basically does is provide you with a tool to be able to estimate your monthly bill. A really important thing, if you're not a new customer and you've been using AWS for more than 12 months, just make sure you untick this box. So what I have here is an example of an Amazon EC2 instance that I've added to my simple monthly calculator. And I've gone and selected an instance type. So just for the demonstration, I've used T1 Micro. You'll see here that in the table it has the name, CPU memory, so it's 0.6 gigs, and storage, won't talk about that. I/O very low, on-demand hourly cost and reserved effective hourly cost. So we're just going to talk about on-demand hourly cost today. So you'll see that it's 2 cents basically. So if we're running this 100% for the whole month, then it's going to end up in $14.64. Now it's really important to understand with the AWS, you don't need to run everything 24/7 like you do with traditional infrastructure. You can run it 50%. You might only want to run this particular server 50% of the time, let's say during weekdays, so it might even be less than 50%. And so what that means is it's going to bring your bill down quite significantly. That's really important because if you're using your service for just development, then you want to obviously get the right size instance to get the most out of it, and then basically work out how many hours per day. Let's say 10 hours per day, you use the instance. Now there's lots of different tools that you can use to make sure that you turn instances on and off, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video today. Okay, let's get straight onto the EC2 instance pricing page. So basically this URL here, which I'll provide at the end, is basically giving you an overview of the different pricing. Now you can obviously do it through here, but it's good to be able to also go to the EC2 product page and just have a look at different instance types and pricing. For example, if you choose Red Hat or use Windows or Windows with SQL Standard Server, then you're going to get different prices. So you'll see the prices here will change. It's changed. So it's just a useful page for able to understand those. Now I do also have a third-party tool that I love using, which is called EC2Instances.info. So you can go to that website, www.ec2instances.info, where you can use this tool to basically work out the cost and also basically get different sizes. So you can also sort by name, instance storage. Well, we won't sort by that, but we can sort by memory. So you can see which ones have the most memory. And then you can also get the prices as well. Now it's showing some prices unavailable, but that's not, usually it will show all the prices, but if they're not available, that's fine. You can always go back to the EC2 calculator to get those prices. So this is just a useful tool, which is basically just gives you a bit of visibility. Now let's go back to the EC2 console, we're going to launch an instance. I'm only going to launch a Linux one. Now you'll see here, this is all the instance types listed here. It's obviously quite a lot. What you can do is you can filter by the different instance type families. Now I talked a little bit earlier about instance type families. Now the reason there's different instance type families is for these reasons here. General purpose, compute optimized. So for compute optimized, that means they have more CPUs. GPU instances, GPU compute, memory optimized, and storage optimized. So if you select one of these, you can filter. Let's go to compute optimized. Now you'll see that the type is C4.large, but it's actually got a prefix here which helps you identify the fact that it's a compute, so C. And then you've got C4 and C3, so the number, really what that communicates is the generation. So 4 is the latest, 3 is the oldest. Let's go to micro instances. Let's go to general purpose. Okay, general purpose is probably the best one. And you can see there's lots of different M's, T's, M3s, M4s. And you'll see that these ones are grayed out. Now the reason for that is because these are not available with this particular EC2 AMI. And that's fine, we won't get into that detail. And so if you sort, you can find the EC2 instance family that's going to be suitable for you, and then the size. So obviously let's go to general purpose. If we're running a web server, typically PHP web server, for example, you might just want something like this. If it's a development machine, if it's a production machine, and you're getting lots of traffic, then use maybe one of these. And that's pretty much, once you've chosen your instance type, then you can go on to launch your instance, the next steps. And this video does not cover launching the instance, it just covers talking about the different instance types. So now that we've covered instance types, in another video we can now go on to talk about Ebs Volumes. And if you haven't checked out my other videos that talk about what Amazon machine images are and the different types of Amazon machine images, then I suggest that you check that out as well. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to give me feedback and subscribe to the channel for more videos.